Okay, hopefully I have audio now. Hey, happy Saturday, Tornado Cholo. Yeah, I just realized that there's no audio. That's embarrassing. I've done that before. It's been a long time since I did it. Hang on, let me see if I got filters. I got that one. I got the Pro C2. I got the Pro Q3, and I got a de-esser. Hopefully, I sound somewhat clean. Tornado, can you confirm that we have audio? Oh, there we go. Sorry, it had me doing transitions and shit. All right. So tonight's order of business is we're working on another video. This one is going to cover the submetrics that we discussed. However, I'm still up in the air as to which metrics I'm going to use. So if you'd like, you can participate in the discussion. Maybe. No, well, did you join the Discord? Because I was online on Discord for a while and there was nobody interested in watching, so I just figured I'd bring it over to YouTube. Okay. Defense, damage, rejection. Yeah, these are all placeholders. But you weren't here for that? Oh my goodness, my friend! Isn't it part of the YouTube channel description now? I thought there was I thought I put a Discord link in there. Yeah, no, I'm the one that's gonna be sorry. It's my responsibility to make sure you guys know about it. Okay. And then we got we have utility. And then finally we have difficulty. Can you confirm that that's in the link for me? Okay, utility, access points. Okay, total storage. Is it not on the current one? Shite. Okay. All right. Total storage, and then we have fabricator and deconstructor. Does that change? Does that change between the subs? What the fabricator and deconstructor output is? Because I feel like that's an important thing to know. Oh, I just thought of something for difficulty. I'm going to put the junction box separation under difficulty. So not many people realize this, but not every ship reactor is equal. And if you go looking at the various ships, they're Oh, see, okay, yeah, exactly. Hang on. I think not the Barotrauma wiki. Might be on the wiki. Hang on. Um, do. Okay. Meltdowns. Okay, here we go. Oh no, those are outputs. Yeah. Okay. So this is a big one for utility. Max output and okay. I want to put down here reactor output and efficiency, because even though there's not that much of a big deal, it's you can figure how often a reactor is going to be running in full time or not. But the one that they don't talk about here. Ooh, somebody did a lot of work on this. That's so much nicer than it used to be. What are we talking about? Reactor output efficiency? Yeah. Okay, but where is the meltdown? So reactors have yeah, it doesn't describe it here. Okay. Might be under submarines, otherwise it'll be on the fandom wiki. See, yeah, this is where it disappoints me. Because this should definitely be something in here. See, this is how you're comparing them: fabricators and deconstructors, maximum crate size, speed, turrets. There's so much more to it than this. But, yeah, we can, we'll figure out. I can show you guys my findings later on. Okay, let's try the fandom barotrauma. Submarines. Why is he still here? Weaponry. Okay. Well, since it's not obvious here, we're gonna load up barotrauma, and you're gonna be. I think this might surprise people. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the new splash on the load up. It's not impressive to me. People are excited because it's different, but come on. So how would you, Tornado Trouble, what would you say makes a sub more or less difficult to operate? Well, a good place to start is by defining what is difficult, what is easy, right? And a good example is reactor management, right? So I would say the azimuth is a good. Yeah, long-term upgrades, yeah, but I think the upgrades are consistent across subs. They're multipliers, but check this out, okay? Azimuth is a pretty popular starting sub, but it has a fire delay of 10 and a meltdown delay of 30, which means if it goes above 6,000 degrees, which is your overheat threshold, if it stays above 6,000 degrees for 10 seconds, it starts a fire. And if it's on to fire for 30 seconds, it melts down. And that's a big bada boom. That's a big one. Not catastrophic. If you have enough anti-rad and the right diving suits, you can repair a meltdown reactor and recover the ship. It's just usually easier to restart and go back to your last save point. Now, I should probably be writing these down as we go, but I'm not going to. Let's go look at the Barsuk. 45 and 18. You see how this would make things more or less difficult? Brilliant. Everybody's favorite big booty bitch. This one, 20 and 7. All right, let's keep going. Dugongs, but like the starter sub for people that don't know what they're doing. So let's see what this one is. 30 and 10. Okay, that's standard. We've seen that one before. What about is it the Hemulin? No, Hemulin's a shuttle. I think there's one lower than the 20 and 7. So yeah, look at this one. The hurry is 120 and 20. Like that's a long ass. That's a lot of grace that they're giving you. Okay. Okay, dumb question. Why? It's exactly what we're trying to describe. It changes the difficulty of the sub. 30 and 10. Right. So if the designers feel like there's a possibility that the sub is easier than others to operate, maybe they can make it more difficult by reducing those essentially safety factors. I really dislike the Kestrel. Vastly dislike the Kestrel. 90 and 15. No, you got those numbers don't lie. That's easy. But like if I were like put a door right there, right? Moo do not have internal ballast tanks. Because ballast floor can go past the walls. Yeah. You get struck by a spineling over here. Like there goes those batteries. Yeah, layout. Yeah, exactly. Okay, what do we get? The Orca. We still get the Orca. Oh no, the R29. Oh, everybody's favorite. Hang on, no, the Orca's a sub. I thought it was a shuttle there for a sec. Okay. What do we got? 30 and 10. Par for the course. $30 and 10. R29 is going to be bigger. It's a long sub, if I remember correctly, so there's a lot of running around to be done. 40 and 18. I think we've seen that before. But like, look at this, okay? Engine is down here. So the engine and reactor are kind of exposed on this side, but for the large part, they're protected by the rest of the ship here. You put on this thing that juts out into the ocean, you're going to get shot right in the reactor. Is there subtle? Okay, Remora. We haven't done the Remora yet. This one is an equally dumb sub, in my opinion. Yes, let's have an external ballast tank. That's a great idea. And where's the reactor? There's a reactor. 20 and 8 again. I think there's another one that's 20 and 8. But at least this time they've got the reactor and the oxygen generator somewhat central, like somewhat protected from the bulk of the ship. I have this one complaint about our like ammunition and stuff. I don't believe that you should be able to put the ammo loader. Where are those? Okay, this one's not that bad because it is right next to the turret. Is there another one nearby that does that? Anyways, I believe that the loader should be as close to the turret as possible. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because the bullets would have to go through the wall, and that's about it. Alright, we're really getting down there. Hang on, we got the room shuttle. This one, Typhon. Oh yeah. Well, they get stuck in the ballast tank. Okay, so the Typhon. I like the Typhon that it has the reactor, like core central. If you look at any military submarine or the big boats or whatever, they do not put critical systems on the exterior edges of the ship. Alright, so this one is 30 and 10. I believe the Typhon 2 is a little bit more forgiving. Homie, don't play that. Have you seen that? I can't play videos on this stream anymore because I keep getting DCMA'd. But used to be a show a long time ago called In Living Color. And it was, what's funny is that Jim Carrey was one of the only white comedians that was allowed on that show. That held a regular spot on that show. He was Fire Marshal Bill, whose shtick was he's a fire marshal that is horribly disfigured with burns, and he teaches fire safety. But one of is it the Wayans brothers that were the comedic actors? Anyways, he played Homie the Clown. He'd smack kids over the head with a slipper. Homie, don't play that. Oh my god, that was funny. Back in the day, man. Back in the day. And satellite TV was a 10-foot dish in your backyard. It took 15 minutes to change channels. I'm not even joking. I'm not even exaggerating. Alright, the Typhon 2 is 90 and 15. Another reason to love the Typhon 2. I think there's one more, isn't there? Yeah, there's Adventure in the Winterhalter now. Okay. Adventure's Shuttle? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's look at the Winterhalter and then, oh, that's not the Winterhalter. The Winterhalter? And have you heard of the Winter Catan? $120 and 20. That's a long ass meltdown delay. The winter. Okay, hang on. This one I don't believe is copyrighted, so I don't think I'm gonna get DCMA'd on this. So you ever seen those little music boxes? Has a drum with little spines on it, and it plinks a little, kind of like what's it called? Xylophone. It plinks them as it goes by and makes music. Yes, no. Ooh. Marble powered clutch. Okay. Okay, and you've seen a marble run, like those things that have marbles that run around and they race and they go through spirals and wheels and like this. A steel marble track, just like this one. Right? Well, this guy combined the two of them. You're gonna love it. So this one. This is the original. This is 7 years old. It has 226 million views. Can you hear the sound? Because this one, I groove to this, man. This is engineering in its most artistic and beautiful form. Hand-driven, okay? Clutches. You ready for this? You're not ready for this. You ready? Oh my god, it gets so, there's so many levels to this, it's not even funny. Yeah, that's a vibrato thing going off on the left there, and it's entirely constructed out of plywood. Now he is pressing the frets, but those are marbles hitting the strings to that bass guitar. As you look, cymbals. My head is just going right now. I have no control over this. And yes, that's Lego driving this thing. Oh my god, this gets just the hair on the back of my neck standing up. He loves this so much. Oh no, dude. Hang on, I'm gonna play this through the end because he deserves a whole view for it. Dude, hang on. I want him to get the credit for the whole view. Now he's gonna put the little strap over the vibrato thing so we can get that back. There he goes. Clack, clack, clack. Boom. I love the jacket too. And the levers. Oh my god. Oh my god. He goes a cappella. This is 2,000 marbles, okay? Yeah, he starts losing marbles. This thing is cascade failure, right? So eventually the marbles start clogging up in certain places and you get more and more marbles showing up on the floor. And he rates the performance of this machine by marble loss during play. And he'll go 50, now I think he goes 50 or 80,000 marbles and lose 1 or 2. And it's like a 40-minute live stream. A little repetitive at this point, but Jesus Christ. The engineering. And now, just like you're badass. See, here you go, he's losing marbles. 5, actually I count 7, 8, 9 on the left. Like a badass, just walks away, no look. Okay, so that was 7 years ago, right? There's been 3 more iterations of this machine. Okay, this is the, hang on, Winter Catan test. 80,000 marbles. Here we go. Is it, yes, this is 1 year ago. Look at this thing. Notice the things like this machine's brass. There's 3D printed parts in here. He stepped up his microphone game too. Hang on, where's their there's gotta be a good one. 50,000 I think is a good one with the Marble Machine X. See, now it's electrically driven. He doesn't have to pump it with his hand anymore. But look at the, like, he's got brass clutches in here.
But
and
I have added one instrument for this test. That's why we can play 50,000 marbles. Let's go with the kick drum.
Oh my god. Here's the thing, he's been using magnets to lift the balls up like on a ladder, but then what happened was the balls started magnetizing over time, so he had to add a demagnetizing gate that all the marbles pass through to eliminate this effect, right? Oh.
We're at 2,000 marbles, 0 fails. Let's compare this
and so he's also stepped up from a magnet to a ladder.
In the last test we played.
Yeah, I know. Especially with the electric motor, there's kind of no excuse for perfect timing at that point. And what I love is that he went with Bowden. He's upgraded to Bowden controls, or Bowden, like just the pins hit a thing and it's like a brake cable. bone lines just exert force remotely through by running a wire through a Teflon tube.
4,000 marbles, 0 fails. Do you like my blue tape?
Yeah.
I knew you would love it.
This guy's hilarious.
On this horizontal bar, and I can attach it from below with screws. It's really nice to see this plywood monster in play. For giving me the 1,000 marble plate. Truth, will the marbles feed correctly?
Yeah. What? Oh, hang on. We've got a alert coming out. I don't know if they do this in the States. They have this National Alert Service built Babbage engine. Yeah, the marble conveyor belt. This is the one. He was so excited about this one, and it was such a massive problem because of the magnets. But yeah, then oh no, this is when the response to the magnets. It's a mechanical ladder. Okay. Anyways, hopefully that didn't get my stream DCMA'd. But yeah, that guy is epic. He's my hero. All right, where were we? Difficulty. Doing the CAD. Well, the thing is, he's got people helping him now with the CAD. Okay, so difficulty, junction box separation, vertical and horizontal hysteresis. Okay, what else? Oh man, come on. Don't stroke my ego like that. We'll be here all night on YouTube. Okay. Reaction failure, junction box separation, vertical horizontal hysteresis. What else makes it difficult? I guess storage capacity is a utility thing. Okay. This is related to aspect ratio, but hull shell access, interior shell access ratio, interior shell access. There's always some part of the sub that you can't access in from the inside to repair if you've got a hull leak. Difficulty, ballast bias could go in here. Tank ballast bias. What else? I'm trying to come up with at least 5 or 6 for each one. If I could have 8 for each category, that would be perfect. And I'm gonna bell curve the shit out of this once we get these metrics going. Okay, ballast bias. So if I'm okay, turret. Are there any vanilla subs that have more than one sub per periscope? Like it's possible to connect multiple. Hang on, defense. This was discharge coil coverage. This is okay. Access points, total storage, oxygen turnover. I forgot about that one. Eternally, okay. Oxygen turnover rate. Okay. What's this one? Engine power factor, max force divided by. Yeah, okay, that's no, okay. That is yeah, output versus efficiency. Power factor, yeah, engine power factor, I guess that would work. We might move some of these to travel distance. Difficulty metrics, okay. Deterioration they've changed, so I'm not going to use that one. Cruising fuel consumption and hallway complexity, that's the other one, okay. Yeah, we're gonna bell curve this. Last time I did it with linear interpolation. This time we're going to do more statistical approach, maybe some covariates. Boo, boom, boo, boo, boo. Not yet. And actually, I'm gonna try to avoid MATLAB. I want to start doing stuff in Python so that if people want to follow along, they can. But I'm no good at Python. Okay, we need one more for difficulty: junction box separation, vertical horizontal hysteresis, hallway consumption complexity, fuel consumption rates. Oh, what a battery. Overall battery consumption? No, that'd be utility, wouldn't it? Yeah. Overall, not supercapacitors, but battery capacity. What did you say battery life? Battery runtime. It works for utility. Difficulty, we needed one more. Yeah, standalone life. Battery. Standalone. That's a good word for it. Thank you. I have more defense metrics over here. I think I came up with a good definition of defense on this one. So, attack power is a sub's ability to inflict damage. Right? It's not about putting out bullets, it's ability to produce damage. Right? That's attack, but defense is the ship's ability to reject damage. Right? So discharge coils are actually, even though they're pretty much purely a defensive metric, they're I would categorize them as an attack thing. So I got ballast bias. Why do I have ballast bias under here? Oh, look at that! I put discharge coils. I'm contradicting myself. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do more accurate calculation of shell size. Build ratio. I think I have that. Build ratio, compartmentalization factor. That's a tough one because the thing is, not all enemies react to decoys. Ironically, the bigger they are, the more likely they are to follow a decoy. Like Charybdis, if you can go, that's another circuit that I wanted to share with you guys. Silent running. And the other thing about silent running is that you have to have something that turns all the lights in the ship the same color, usually blue. Because even if your ship, like if you can get your engine under 10%, turn your reactor off, and produce no sound, things like the Moloch and the Charybdis and the Latcher and I think even Endworms can't see you. But the second somebody opens a door, drops a wrench, right, it's boof, they're right on top of you because they're extremely sensitive to sound. But getting the engine down to 10% and running the reactor down at almost zero power with the push of a button is, yeah, it is pretty crazy. All right. Build output. So, critical system. Shells? There you go. So how many decks, how many walls, how many layers does it say. A spiraling quill is what I worry about in particular, between things like the oxygen generator, the reactor, things like that. You know, your face. You're spending all your time at the reactor. You don't want something that's right next to the exterior wall. Flooding to critical flood threshold. There we go. No, we're going to put that under utility, and I can probably, or difficulty. Where's my difficulty? Difficulty. That's my last difficulty. So critical flooding factor. What I can do there, I've got a, that's the word, data logger circuit that I've got, and I can start flooding compartments and measure when the sub starts sinking, right, just due to flooding. That's good. I think those are good. Right, because if your reactor's more finicky, it's going to make it more difficult. But the critical flooding point, it's easy to measure. Tough to calculate, but if I can measure it, I don't have to calculate it. Right, the sandbox mode, when you're running a submarine in sandbox mode, there's a command in the console that you just have to put the word water, and then whenever you left click on a compartment, it starts filling with water, and when you right click on the same compartment, it starts emptying of water, right? So junction box separation is hey Toots, it's the Toots. Okay, so junction box separation is fashionably late, as of course, it's fine. Hey. So, vertical horizontal hysteresis is now something we can measure with the data logger. Interior shell access is something we're going to have to determine experimentally, but that's not really that big of a deal. Ballast bias is super easy to calculate. Hallway complexity is another one that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's still something that's easy enough. No, I'm going to call it waypoint complexity, because that's how I measure it. Is I just go in and calculate, like, measure all the different possible pathways to go from any, like, you number all the compartments, right? A through G or whatever, and then you make a two-way table, A through Z on the top and A through Z on the side. And then if you're going from A to B or B to A, you measure exactly, like, there's going to be what do they call it, an upper diagonal matrix. So like it's going to be symmetrical around one diagonal. So there's no point in populating the bottom half. But the point is that you can still get an idea of how many ways are there to get from point A to point B on this submarine, and what is their relative length, right? That's the other thing. I want to put a little blurb in this video about MCTs. Do you guys know what MCTs are? I acknowledge that I'm a statistical, like I'm a project engineer. Well, depending on who you talk to. Research engineer is another term for it, and so statistics is my bag. There's these things called measures of central tendency. Okay, let's just say you're looking for a group that has an average age of like 35, and you scoop up 6 people, and their average age is 35. But then you get to where you go and you find out like 4 of them are 20 and the other 2 are 100. The average age is probably, I'm just guessing, I'm not doing that actual math properly, but the point is that the term average does not usually describe the whole picture. So we use terms like mean and median and mode and standard deviation. And that tells you about the distribution of the values. So we're going to Okay. Oh, defense. We still gotta finish defense. Rejecting output. So this is related to aspect ratio, but hang on. Duct block to ballast pump. Duct dependent. Hang on. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, if you put a bilge pump in every room, that's the ideal situation. Assuming that they consume very little power and your reactor doesn't get hit. But the point is that you need some way of describing, I don't know, the ease at which the sub extracts the water from the inside. Usually the bilge output is a good describer of it. Oh, okay, hang on. Bilge rate. Bilge rate, yeah. Defense. So you can say bilge and ballast. Power factor. Because it really sucks when your enemy's dead and gone and you're just hemorrhaging water. And you don't have time to clean everything or clear everything because you're taking on too much water. So efficiency. The thing is, if all your bilge pumps kick in at the same time, your reactor could fail because there's not enough power, right? This is the same reason why the Typhon 2 and a couple other subs, when you start them up at a outpost, if you don't have power going to them in the ballast pumps in advance, as your reactor powers up, the power graph climbs, and then everything starts powering on, and then it dives again, because what happened is your ballast pumps just kicked in, and because you're usually diving to get away from the outpost, or whatever it is now, I think they got rid of outposts, your ballast pumps are pulling water into the ballast tanks, but that draws more power than it was before, so suddenly that reactor is not able to supply the whole system with enough power, and it shuts down just long enough for the ballast tanks to, I think if they fill themselves and then they stop, as long as the hatches are all closed, and your reactor can catch up with it again, and then lights go on. If you have a smarter grid, that's awesome. I don't know how we calculate it, but the point is that this is for comparing. Yeah, okay, got a battery rate that kicks on when the load exceeds the output and turns it off otherwise. First of all, that's badass. Okay, that's pretty cool. If I would put that anywhere, I might put it under utility, but the point is that you weren't here for the beginning of the presentation. Okay, hang on. Resolve. So, Control F, is it? Okay. No worries. How do you objectively compare subs with the focus on remaining objective? That's the most important part. It's a remarkably easy answer to the question, but it's very difficult in its execution. By the way, I love that background. I think that background's gonna be my new favorite background for videos that I make. So the answer is you choose measures and you stick to them, right? And you got to have measures that are relevant, right? You have to have measures that are quantifiable, right? You can't just say, oh, it's blue and black, because you don't know. Those aren't performance specific, right? They have to have RGB values if you want to do color that badly, but they have to have units. right? And they have to be easily calculated so that other people can verify your work, and you can do it more than once and not worry about getting different results. And this is the one that comes into play with your question. The measures that you use to define a sub's difficulty or ease of use or all these things, the same measures have to apply to all subs and samples, in this case subs, right? So in your case, you have one sample that has this awesome thing. If you want to bring it, like, I don't know how to say, if you want to help integrate it to multiple subs, all the vanilla subs, although that makes them not vanilla anymore. Hang on here. I don't know if I'm still. Oh, I moved it. So here's the. Oh, we got barometrics. So we don't just have metrics. We have barometrics. Right. This is the intro to the next video. So I think I moved the radar plot pretty far back. Okay. So we have the 5 categories for values. If you've ever played Pokemon, you know what this is. And we're gonna look at agility first, and I want to go through all those metrics. I think it's going to take a couple seconds to get to those ones. Come on. Oh, that jump is the background. I gotta work on that loop. No, apparently I turned that off. Oh, it was getting there. It took a second to get there. Hang on. What time are we at? This is, shit. Doesn't it have the time? Where's the time? Oh, it's 1:02:35. Okay. Alright. So agility metrics describe a submarine's ability to traverse levels quickly, navigate obstacles safely, and outmaneuver hostile forces. I think that's a definition we can all agree on, yes? So those are my 8 for agility. And then I'm going to go through... I don't think I'm going to... No, I'm not going to stagger them like that. I don't think I'm going to put them in pretty much all at the same time. They're supposed to dim and move off to the left. Apparently that's not a thing anymore. Okay. So neutral ballast level is exactly what it sounds like. So neutral buoyancy, right? If you dive into the water and you are neutrally buoyant, when you stop swimming, you don't rise and you don't fall. You weigh enough to keep yourself down, but you're not so light that you sink. If that makes any sense. Right? So the neutral balance coefficient on the sub is how where the proportion of ballast tanks have to be filled in order for the sub to be neutrally buoyant. Is that what you're looking for? Or do you want me to keep going on how we're going to use it? Okay. So, it's based on the total hull volume versus, because remember, the ships are gonna, if the ship was completely full of air and you had no ballast, then if you had it small enough, it probably wouldn't sink. But if you had I think it would have to be big. Yeah, because bigger subs need a smaller ballast fraction. So the recommendation it gives you is based on the total hull volume, yeah. I think I'm going to go use the bathroom, guys. Give me 1 second, okay? Oh, I have a BRB thing. I forgot where I put it. Alright. I'll be right back. There you go. Okay. Okay. We are back. And, oh man, okay. Should probably figure out this math now before I start making a video out of it. Or I could just do the math as I go. See, I usually do equations and data collection and then write the script and then make the video to match the script. I think it's actually backwards. I'm supposed to narrate the video after I make it, but anyways. Yeah. I wanted to do kind of. So okay, think of it this way. If your neutral ballast level is 0.5, okay, and you have it filled to exactly 0.5, your sub is going to stay neutral in terms of ascent and descent. Okay, but then you let your ballast tank go to 0.51, 51% full. What happens? I know it sounds like a simple question. Okay, you sink. Okay, now if you go to 52, how much faster are you sinking than you were a second ago? Yes, exactly. You're going twice as fast as you were a second ago. Not incredibly fast, but relative to what you were doing at 51, you'd be going twice as fast. Now, if you go, let's just say, okay, you go down to 48%. Presumably, you'd be going up at the same rate that you were going down a second ago, right? Okay, now, let's say your neutral ballast coefficient. Yes, no. There are fluid dynamics in play, but I think the drag coefficient just has to do with frontal cross section, which is something I might explain later, but not right now. So let's just say now your neutral coefficient is 0.9. Okay, at 90% ballast capacity, your sub is neutrally buoyant. Right? Let's just say instead of going down from 50 to 40 like you did, hang on. Let's go back to the first one where you're neutrally buoyant at 0.5, okay? If you go down to 0, right, or up to 100%, the relative speed, you'd be going up just as fast as you would be going down at either end of the extreme, right? If 48% makes you climb just as fast as 52% makes you go down. Yeah, yes, I agree. I don't really have math to back this up. We might do some data collection on that later tonight. That might be a good thing to do. But the point is that if you're going, if you by extension, if you were to go down to 60, you go up to 60% full or down to 40% full, you'd still be going up or down at the same rate. Faster, but the same rate in either direction. If you go to 70% full or 30% full, again, symmetric, up and down, right? Hopefully, assuming my logic holds true, which that's never a guarantee, right? Then that is how you predict that the ascent versus maximum ascent or descent rate of the sub would behave. Now let's go to the sub that is neutrally buoyant at 0.9. Okay? If you go to 0.8, you would be going down just as fast as you would if the sub was at 100%. Okay? But now, if you go down to 0.7, the ballast doesn't go any higher than 100%. Right? So now there's this disparity between how fast you can sink versus how fast you can climb. That is what the neutral ballast tank changes. is that bias in one direction or the other. I'm waiting for the light bulb moment. No. If your neutral ballast is higher than 0.5, then you have more water to shed than you have to gain, which means you float faster than you can sink. Then vice versa. Does that make sense? So, hang on, this is a big distinction to make. Okay, I'm hoping you made that up, but that's a really, really, really big neutral buoyancy offset. Yes, if you're neutrally buoyant at 0.2335, right, then you have 0.7665. Hang on. If I did that in my head correctly, I'm going to be very happy. 1 minus 0.2335. 7665. Yes, exactly. So if it's 0.2335, then your ballast tanks are mostly empty at neutral buoyancy. So you can shrink your ballast tanks, right? It means they're too big, essentially. Does that make sense? Doom, doom. Okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, I don't want to do that. I want to do, which one's the easiest ones? Okay. Okay. I decided I'm going to make this a lot more, not complicated, but not complicated in terms of the video, but it does start to get complicated for me. Hang on here. Okay. It's weird. Why is that one not that? Okay. Can't just change the font size all at the same time. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell was that? Oh, I flipped it. I was like, what is Oitar Tech Bra? I accidentally flipped it backwards. That was weird. Never seen that error before. Ah, did it again. Anybody else in the room? Just out of curiosity. Then you okay? All right, yeah, that's awesome. No worries, man. Listen, I'll stick around, and if you have questions, let me know. I need to continue fixing this shit because I'm gonna put all of the metrics on one page just as like kind of a teaser. And I should probably reorder these. Neutral balance offset. It'll be the first one. Actually, it doesn't matter really. What do you think? Should I organize them so they're tapered from top to bottom? Or is that organization fine? There it is. Maybe no pertinence? No. That's the point of a rubric like this, is that you don't score them. You don't rank them like that. Okay, what is it? Sorry, I'm talking to a guy that I'm chatting with at the same time, and I know he can't talk to my keyboard. Do you guys do that? Just talk to your keyboard for no good reason? Bumped into a post in my house the other day. I freaking apologize to it. That's how bad it is being a Canadian. Apologize for everything to everybody. Now, that being said, I know a lot of Canadians are ungrateful little shits, but that's not the point. I gotta say, man, living in Pittsburgh was such an eye-opening experience for me. I thought it'd be just like living in Toronto, which is like the biggest city in Canada, but hang on, what's the population of Toronto? Not greater Toronto area. Yeah, so 2.93 million. Not terrible. Greater Toronto area is like 5.928 of Pittsburgh. 1.7 million. Metro Pittsburgh. 2.37 million. So yeah, even in its larger metro area, it's just about the same size as Toronto. And I thought it'd be very much the same. Not even fucking close. Like, it was so much of a culture gap. It was not even funny. And I remember, like in Canada, you walk around with your head up, you're looking at people in the eye, and you just give them a little nod. If you do it to a guy, he's going to give you a little nod, and if you do it to a woman, she'll give you a nod, and usually a hey. And they might even ask you how your day's going. They don't really care what you're about to say, but they don't want to make you feel like they appreciate what you're going through. Whereas in the States, you walk around and everybody's staring at the ground. At least in Pittsburgh. I'm not saying this across the United States. In Pittsburgh, I felt that the people in the area that I lived, when they were walking around, when I was walking around, they had a tendency to look down at, not their feet, but they were just staring maybe 30 feet in front of them with their eyes out of focus, right? Thinking about stuff while they're walking where they're walking. And if you make eye contact with them, you just invaded their tiny world, and you must pay. Like, it was... so... Uh-oh, hang on. What's this? Get notifications. No, not there. Anyways. Yeah, that's true. Where's here? Oh, okay. Where are you in Mexico? Mexico. Guadalajara. I'm just looking at a quick map. I'm trying to find. I have a friend that lives in. Oh, I'll know as soon as I see it. Hang on. Hang on, I miss her. I haven't seen her in ages. Well, there's reasons for that. She's not. It's one of the puertos. I think it's Puerto Ramones. No, maybe not. Okay, let me put it to you this way. She's like, no, not Puerto Vallarta. She's like, her family's rich, like servant rich. Wasn't Escondido. It might have been Escondido. Oaxaca? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I try to get the pronunciation of it. Yeah, it's that side of the country. I'm looking at the map now. It's hang No, Veracruz. That's where she's from. And I think they have family in Heroica. Yeah, Heroica, Poza Rica. That's what I'm thinking of. Heroica, Veracruz is where she's from. I've been in Mexico a couple times. They kind of scared the piss out of me at the border. And I had a bunch of shit stolen out of my luggage. So no offense, I love the people. Oh my god, Latin Americans is just, you guys are so friggin' friendly. Especially like you go to Quebec, all right, and I'm not gonna say I love Quebec. It's there's a big. I'm from Ontario. There's a huge rivalry between. So yes, sorry, I didn't mean to scream into the mic there. Yeah, I got the full experience. I went to Cuba. No, hang on. I want to finish this story. Ottawa and Quebec have this rivalry. Not many people know this. So Canada, when Canada was founded, it was founded by both French and British at the same time. They created something called Upper Canada, and then the British created something called Lower Canada. And there wasn't even a war. The French just kind of, and I'm probably going to be torn apart for historical accuracy on this, and so I am kind of paraphrasing what happened, but they basically just abandoned their settlers. They just stopped supporting them. And so the Brits got the territory for free, essentially, and then the United States came over and tried to take more territory. And fun fact, the one war that the United States lost definitively was back in 1812, and the Canadians pushed all the way to Washington, D.C. and burned the White House to the ground. It's a dark moment in both Canadian and American history. We're not proud of it, but that was back when like muskets was the deal. Nowadays, I don't even want to think what would happen if we pissed. Yeah, I didn't know that. When I lived in Pittsburgh, I had my American friends convinced that we kept a giant urn with the ashes of the White House in Canadian Parliament. I don't know why they believed it, but they did. So anyways, if you go to Quebec and you try to speak French, they'll just speak English to you because they don't want to watch you embarrass yourself. Right? It's almost like a painful look in their face when they when you try to talk and like, oh, don't do that, and they'll just speak English. And I don't like that because I tried for a long time to improve my French, and it's hard to do. So when I went to Cuba, and I got, every time I got the chance, I would try to speak Spanish with the with the locals, and they loved it. They ate that shit up. Like they what? Oh no. What was it? Hang on. I figured we're gonna find this in my translator. There we go. Hang on. Yeah. So, lo siento, no tengo dinero para una propina. Puedo darte naipes en su lugar. I don't know. I probably butchered that one, but that one, like, going into Cuba, like we were told well in advance, like, if you give them money for tips, they're okay with that. I believe the standard. Yeah. Oh, really? See, that's the thing. There's a lot of similarities between Spanish and French. So really, I said that. Well, okay. I'm proud of that. Anyways, they told us, like, listen, if you want to give, like, you can give them tips, that's fine. Oh, thank you. But they prefer gifts. And not like gifts like cards and presents, but like mouthwash. Like I gave our bartender, our waiter. Okay, so there's 3 people you really don't want to piss off when you go to Cuba and you stay at a resort. Number 1 is your bartender. Number 2 is your the I know I won't say maids. They're not maids. The people that come, the cleaners, the people that come in and clean out your fucking mess up. You tip them well. And then you're usually have a waiter that's assigned to you, but they're usually housekeeping. That's a good word for it. We brought like scrunchies and hairspray and women's deodorant, and we got massive amounts of little chocolates on our pillows the next morning. What I told them, I said, look, I cornered them when they came by the room. I said, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave 3 little plates with gifts on them every day in the morning when we leave. You can take 1 every day, and we'll replenish it for the next day. And if you want, you can take all 3, but we're not going to do it again. Right? We put like, it was funny because we were trying to test what they wanted, what they didn't want. One of them we knew had lots of little kids, so we put little kids' toys. That one vanished like in 20 minutes. We barely felt like we were out of the room and it was gone. And I remember we went on this Jeep safari, and when I say Jeep, hang on, off-road. They called it a Jeep safari because there's like 12 little, hang on, there you go, these things. They called them a Jeep safari. There's 12 of these little things that show up at your resort and everybody climbs in. They call it a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep, man. It's a Geo. It's a Geo tracker. Barely seats 4. Manual transmission, power nothing. Like, you don't even get FM radio with these things. And what they did is that, like, you just follow a little convoy. Yeah, they had snorkels like this. And, this is a perfect example of, hang on, see if I can find, Puerto Gallardo, I think, is where we went. Oh yeah, super, super small, Cuba resort, let's see. Yeah, they were all just blacks, just like these little guys, and didn't have the rims on them, though. So anyways, and these things are so cheap to fix. Right, you just buy a ton of the parts, and they're dead. That ours had a back seat because we had this douche nozzle that, like, they say, oh, you want to share the driving responsibility between everybody. Well, my girlfriend at the time didn't have her license. This guy's girlfriend didn't want to drive, and this guy's like, oh yeah, no man, I know how to drive stick. It's fine. I drive stick all the time. I know what I'm doing. The girlfriend's like, no, you don't. That poor little tracker, he beat the snot out of that clutch. Like it was a redheaded stepchild, just beat the crap out of it. And I was painful. So I let him drive. I drove half the front, like half the front leg, and let him drive the other half of the front leg. And on the way back, he's like, oh, okay, I'll drive. I'm like, I don't think so. If we break this truck, they're going to put the bill on my, hey, Mr. Wolf. They're going to put the bill in my room, like charge it to my room. So anyway. Anyways, a side story was this couple. We met them. They were the only couple that was our age at this resort, and there was this. I gotta find it. Hang on, I'll go through give me a second. I'll find the photos. This is like 3 years after Hurricane. Is it Irma or Ian that hit Cuba? I think it was Irma. Yeah. Oh my God. This was, honest to God, hands down, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Okay, photos. No, I don't want to search that. It was 2019. Okay, it was May, I think, 2019. Okay, So yeah, this is. I'm gonna see if I can find where the pictures stop. Right about there. Oh my god, this place. Yeah, just in time. Okay, so this was the first. There we go. I don't have a fantastic camera. That was the first picture I took in Cuba. This is immediately, like, this is out the patio door of a room that we stayed in. Right, and like this is I think this is panoramic too. I took some photospheres. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Yeah, there was just a little bit down. There was a little bench that you could look into the water. Unbelievably peaceful place. Oh yeah, and my girlfriend is this insane animal lover. We found this little tiny hermit crab walking down the hallway of our room, like towards our room. And she's like, "Oh my god, he's gonna get crushed!" And she walked around with this guy. She gave him a name. I forget the name. And we put him on the ocean. She's like, "Okay, put him on the sand." He got rolled over the water. I'm like, babe." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's a land crab. He can't swim." So, anyways, yeah, there was these. Oh my god, the thing about this place was that you never saw the workers. They went around. Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous, right? And so, and notice all the buildings like nothing more than 2 stories tall, except for that white thing in the corner. Okay, that place. So this whole resort, to get in, it's all expenses paid. But that restaurant, that white building is a restaurant. It's like $25 US to get in the door, and then it's minimum $35 a plate. Right? And it was picturesque, right? It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I wanted to go in and take pictures of the whole resort with my girlfriend. They're like, "No, just no. You have to pay to get in. We're not gonna let you in the door without paying." I'm like, "I just want pictures." Like, "No, can't take pictures." I'm like, "Okay." We ran into this couple from the Jeep Safari a couple days later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we got the pictures." I'm like, "You pay $25?" And it's like, "No, we just waited until they closed at like midnight, and then we snuck in and took pictures up there." I'm like, "Oh, breaking and entering as a foreigner in a communist state. I too like to live dangerously." Like, where do people's common sense come from? Man, it's such a beautiful place. It gets better. Yeah, so this is okay. Oh my god, this guy was awesome. He was every morning. He'd make your breakfast. Same guy. And you see, if you look at the food, it's extremely simple because they don't have like these food stores. Like Hurricane Irma just annihilated their farming industry, but that doesn't mean they're not trying. Like, look at this. They made a fucking cherry tomato and probably a piece of squash into yeah, I've heard that kind of a story about people. Yeah, people killing animals unintentionally and indirectly. But look at this. You got potatoes, you got sausages, you got hot dogs, you got beans. Right? This is all like sweet peppers and string beans and mushrooms and tomatoes. This is all like bare bones staple stuff. Delicious when they seasoned it. But they're not trying to they're not trying to overreach, right? And the food was, I love the food. Yeah, an entire cold cuts buffet here. Raisins and peaches, and mornings were awesome. This was down the road. Okay, see if this. Listen to this thing go by. Okay.
Do you want to go in? Do you want to go in by taxi?
Yeah. Do you want? He's asking me to do it. Like, that's for staff only, and they're offering us a ride. So, anyways, the next to the pictures of my the tumor that shall not be named. That was my ex-girlfriend. God love her. Or not. She put up with me for 8 years, including like 4 years of terrible medical experience. Don't get Lyme. I don't recommend it. It wasn't fun. And then, yeah, one day she just sat up and said, "I'm moving home." As we're watching TV, she sat up. "I'm moving out." Oh. Well, that sucks. That's what I said. And she's like, "Is that all you're going to say?" I'm like, "Look, you obviously put a lot of thought in this. I know she has crippling social anxiety, so I knew that if she reached that point, she had convinced herself that like, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to change that. So anyways, long story short is I was, no, I want these closer together than that. Yep. You know, even though I've technically never been married, in Canada we have this thing, I don't know in what they have in Mexico, I'm sure they have in the States, we call it common law. It's basically if you live with somebody long enough, you can justifiably call yourself married in the court of law. So, thankfully, nobody's ever capitalized on that, but I'm theoretically married and divorced 3 times. Woo! Go Gadget, terrible taste in women. Hang on here. Nope, too far. No, maybe not. Hang on. Nope. I want them spaced out a little more than that, so we'll call that this is 1.5.2. No, I want these a little further. Oh yeah, man. No, we gave my bartender the first day there. I gave the bartender a oh shit, hang on. I gave him like a peso tip, and he was like, "Oh, gracias." Went on about his day. I got like your normal ounce of rum in my pina colada. Next day, I gave him a fidget spinner. Okay, things like 99 cents at the dollar store. I brought like 12 of them with me. I got like a cup and a half of rum in every drink I got after that. Remember, right? And I just didn't even have to tip him. I'd go to tip him. He'd whip this thing out of his pocket and go, give it a spin, with this big ass grin on his face. He's like, "Oh, my boys are so jealous." I'm like, okay. You want 2 to give your kids? He's like, no, you can give 2 to me. I'm like, no, you want to make them extra jealous. 0.25. 0.3 was this one. Yeah, this is going to be so 0.3, 0.4, no, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35. Is that what I did? 0.15, no. 0.15, 0.25, 0.35, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5. Where's that now? No, it's too high. Okay. 6.5? What I can do is I can do this and make them all invisible for now. I'm really anal retentive when it comes to spacing. And I know there's a thirds rule here, so we're supposed to move this down to like, this one should say agility right off the top. So one thing I really don't like about this software, like Resolve is fantastically user-friendly, but when you cut and paste something, it pastes it exactly where you got it from and overwrites it at the same time. So yeah, not super helpful. Sorry, paste it on the same line that you're on, but it puts it wherever the header is or whatever it's called, tracing track head or something. I forget what it's called. Layout. Yeah, 0.66 sounds right. Thirds. And then this one will be attack. Move this one over here a little bit more, I think. Agility, attack. Hey, what's going on, Toots? Ask your question. Okay. Not something to be ashamed of. Took me a while. Okay. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh, you probably put something in it that the YouTube doesn't like as a character. Oh, okay. Key 1, yeah. Key 1, val 1, key 1. You gotta get rid of that dash at the end. I don't think a dictionary can end with a... You can change them all to... Okay. Okay, here's the way this works. The key 1, key 2, key 3, key 4. All right, the words, the set of letters and characters and numbers, KEY1, KEY2, those are reference. Think of them like reference IDs, like barcodes. All right. If you put KEY1 before the dash on the left hand of that library string, right, it's going to return val1. Right, so KEY1 is the index and VAL1 is the contents. Right, so try putting KEY1 dash and then KEY1 val1, K2 val2, that sort of thing, and get rid of that dash on the other end. Although I don't think it matters. Okay. Give me a sec. Okay. Take your input string here. And say dash K key 1, val1, key 2, val2. Right? What you're doing, right, is this is your index number. This is the contents. This is your index. This is your contents. So if I want to find, hang on, let's put this, copy, paste. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Key 3, val 3, key 4, val 4, key 5, val 5, 6, val 6. Now, I'm going to change this. This is Mr. Werewolf. Call this Tornado Cholo. 4229, because I'm not typing that out. Yep. Sounds about right. Who do we got? Anybody else still here with participants? Oh, just me. Pero. Cayenne. I'm stretching now. TGN. Okay. Key 1 returns TGN. Key 2. Key 3. Key 4. You see what I'm doing? Oh yeah, if you don't make it use a capture group, it's just gonna say yes when it finds a 1 or a 0. Yeah. Yeah, the capture group's kind of an important thing to do. Jesus, we're coming up on an hour 39 minutes, guys. Time flies when you're talking about X's. Why? You're in the you're in the demo? I like to keep everybody involved, you know. Did you have any false output? Is there a false output in your regex control? Okay. You have... Okay. Sometimes change is good change. Okay. You've got the key 1, val 1, key 2, val 2 dash, right? That's your input string. Because that should be going in as the concatenate, into a concatenate block as the second input, with your control input going into the first block of the concatenate, and then the output of the concatenate block goes into your regex. Right? And then your regex expression is the one you have out there, the one with the question mark input, semicolon dash, like that whole mess. And then there should be no, like, blank false output. And then you have okay, so that's not your input. That goes into the concatenate block. Okay. So that concatenated string goes into the input of the regex. Concatenate second slot. Yes, you got it. Right? And then the 2 check marks on your regex block should be checked off. I think it's continuous output and use capture group. And the name of your output, your output should be the word output, lowercase. And there should be nothing for your false output. The output is the capture group. See the way there's a question mark and it says angle brackets? Yes, absolutely. That will happen. If you have capture groups turned on and you have nothing in your false output and your true output is the word output, lowercase, regex will substitute its captured group for the where it says output. It'll substitute the capture group into where you put the word output. Nope. Sorry, okay. The val 1 and val 2 are the capture group. Okay. So if you have the word output, okay, Do you see where it says in your input, in your research string, it says the word output in square angle brackets? Right? Okay. Do you see the way it says input and there's a semicolon in between them? If you put that as your regex string, okay, and the regex finds an input that matches the in beginning of your library string, followed by a semicolon and a string after the semicolon, then that string that follows the semicolon becomes your output. So when you just say the lowercase, like you could say change the where it says angle bracket for two, like where it says output, put angle bracket toots, TOOTS, right? And change that part of the regex string, and then go into your regex component in Barotrauma and change your true condition output to toots. Where it finds toots in the search expression, it will substitute that search value for the word toots as your output. Hang on, let me show what I mean. Okay, where's our captain? Okay. It's not exactly the same. Hang on. Okay, there's my dictionary string. Okay. This one, we're going to leave that as 0 for now. And then this one has to have the... Hang on here. Okay, this is my regex find component, okay? Here's my expression. Clearing the false output. Use capture group. Lowercase output. Like that. Actually, just to prove a point. Where's my regex? No, it's not. I want this one. That's a regex. Okay. I would change this word output to Scooter. I don't think so, Scooter. And I change this out here to Scooter. Right? The effect is the same. Yes. That's what I was trying to say. Q1, I press this. Val 2 should come out. And it's not. It says what in it? There's that. There's Q1. Separator. Oh, I did something. That one. That's weird. So, yeah, what this is what's called a named capture group. When you look at when it has a question mark and that's something like that, this is a named capture group, and what's in the angle brackets is the name. So by putting the name up here in the output, you are referring to the information that was found and assigned to the named capture group. Oh, shit. Hang on here. No worries, man. There's sub racing. It's a thing. I'll have to look into it. Alright, guys, I'm going to have to sign off. It's been almost exactly 2 hours. Thank you for joining us tonight, Tornado Cholo. It's been a pleasure talking to you. You too, Toots. And yeah, keep an eye out for this video. It's probably not going to be done for a while, but we'll be working on it for until then. Alright, guys, don't forget the most important part for the evening. And until you see me again, stay nerdy, folks. Good night.